Hi, I'm Scott and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the state of my watch collection in 2021. Quite frankly, I didn't know I had a watch collection until my wife purchased me this watch box for Christmas, and I gathered up all my watches from various spots around the house, put them together and said, wow, I actually do have a collection. Spans a couple generations of my family, a couple new pieces here and there, some that I've had for many years. I thought, well, let's take a look at that. So we'll do that now. I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll take a closer look. Okay, so let's take a look at the collection. Open the box here. First one is a cool piece, an Illinois Bun Special Railroad pocket watch. This was actually used on a railroad. This was given to my great-great-grandfather, who was a master mechanic and engineer on the Burlington, Chicago, and Quincy Railroad out of Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska. This one, you unscrew the back to expose the movement, which I think is just a beautiful movement. 21 jewels. Is just ticking along like the day it was made. Beautiful watch. Engraved in the back to my great-grandfather. I assume this was upon his retirement from the railroad, probably in the 1930s sometime. I have to do a little more research on that. And you can see on the front, it took me a while to figure out how to set this. You obviously wind it with the stem there, but unlike most watches where you pop the stem up and set the hour hand, that's not how this works. You have to unscrew the front and then there's a little lever up here that you lift, which then allows you to change the time. You push the lever back down and screw the crystal back on. Cool watch. The next one, also from the family collection. This is a Longines tank style watch from 1943. It's engraved on the back, Christmas 1943, with my grandfather's initials. It does run, but is not keeping very good time. I do need to get this one professionally serviced. It's on an alligator strap. I think it's a cool watch. Obviously, by modern standards, it's small. It's 26 millimeters or so. But a very classic watch in gold. Next one, also a family heirloom. This is a Hamilton Electric, one of the first non-winding electric watches made by Hamilton. It's not currently functioning because the batteries for it have been discontinued, of course. There is a workaround. I've ordered a battery. It's engraved to my grandfather upon his retirement from the Timken Company. You may see some scratches. There's one right there and another one. I foolishly took it to a local, it was a clock repair place, asked him to check out the battery, turned my back to look at something. I heard him hitting a hammer, turned back around, and there he was with a screwdriver and a hammer trying to move the back, which you just need a watchmaking tool to twist off the back. And he scratched it. Needless to say, I was not happy, and we had some very pointed discussion after that before I stormed out. There's nothing I could do about it at that point. And that is what actually got me interested in watch repair to a certain extent. And I'm now fully capable of changing batteries on every watch I have within limits. I got the right tools for it. This one I also would consider hopefully a future family heirloom. The obligatory Rolex. This is the first luxury watch that I purchased myself. a GMT2 Rolex in gold and stainless. I think this is just beautiful and classic, a timeless look. I wear it fairly frequently. Obviously, all these watches are getting less wrist time now that I've been stuck in the house since March. But I really like this, and I'm hoping someday one of my kids will have in his collection 1, 2, 3, at least generations of watches from the family. This one I plan to keep forever. This next one here is a Movado Museum, a dress watch in gold and stainless. I haven't worn this one very much. It does have, you know, a classic dress watch type look, and is very nice. Feels good on the wrist as well. Then we hit the Shinola watches. Anyone familiar with Detroit is familiar with Shinola watches. This one is my daily, if I had a daily go-to, the Shinola GMT function watch. It's a few years old, and I have it on a leather strap. It's 40 some millimeters, and so I like it a lot. Keeps great time. Shinolas are a little controversial. Everyone in Detroit loves them. When they first came out 7 or 8 years ago, they got a lot of flack because they were saying they were made in Detroit. Eventually they had to change that to assembled in Detroit, because it is assembly of, you know, some parts of it are Taiwanese, the movement is Swiss, et cetera, et cetera. So they are assembled here. I think the hands come from somewhere else. But they're very popular here in Detroit. You know, they range from $600 to $1,600 or so. So they can get a bit pricey. But that's one of 3 I have. This is the first one I got. This was one of the first models 7 years ago. It's called a Runwell. Fairly basic, but again, I like the look on a leather strap. And then I have another Shinola. This is a chronograph in kind of a rose gold. This one is not working at the moment. I have to replace the battery. Then some of my older watches that I just dug up when I got the box. An old military style Swiss watch. Now these have got to be 20 years old or more. A moon phase Seiko. This used to be my dress watch maybe 30 years ago, and obviously a little small by today's standards. Again, an obligatory G-Shock. You know, these things are absolutely bulletproof. They will run forever. This has got to be 15 years old at least, and I've never had to change the battery in this one. And then I have a Citizen Eco Drive, which I like as well. Again, probably 10 or 15 years old. It is not functioning. The battery gave out on it. I have it on order, because you have to get a special battery because of the rechargeable nature of these things that charge on solar. The batteries are a little more difficult to come by. There are a couple of others that didn't fit in the box. They were older, nothing special Seikos. And now that I've got everything all organized, I've got the itch to add to it. So stand by for an update sometime this year in 2021, because I'm sure I will be adding to the collection as the year goes on. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell button, and leave a comment down below. Do you have a collection of watches? Which ones do you like the most? Which of my collection would you like to see more of? Would you like to see more of this content? I think I probably will do 1 or 2 on replacing batteries and things like that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again here in the arena.